Hi, it's Martin. Welcome to another video on my Knit365 YouTube channel. I'm just popping along to record a quick introductory video. I'm in work at the moment and I've just had a brainwave that I should record this video. I've made a mistake with my pathway scarf, more about that in a moment, but I just thought I love coming to this meeting room during my lunch hour if I get a chance to get a break away from my desk and just look out over the city. So this is Cardiff Central Station in the background, and of course, because I'm recording, there are now no trains moving, but that's the train station. BBC Wales building in the centre. The building site is the new bus station that's going to have flats and shops and everything above it. I just love coming up here and watching the city just go by about its business. But yes, I've made a mistake with my pathway scarf. I put it down in frustration last night and I need to undo 2 nights worth of knitting and 12 rows. It's not a huge issue, but of course it's over 300 stitches. So I need to rip it out, rip all the rows back because I've not done one of the color changes properly. I tried to see if I could fudge it last night and I'm not going to be able to fudge it. So I need to fix it. So I thought I would just do something slightly different. We'd have a mini Podette, podcast light, whatever we want to call it. But I'll show you the mistake that I've made and how I'm going to fix it. I'm going to put a lifeline into the knitting is my plan, rip the whole thing back and then get back on track. So I'm currently in work and I'm going to get that hopefully sorted a little bit later on this evening. So I thought I would do the introduction now while it was nice and light, and then I can do a little bit of footage of me faffing with the project later on. So I hope you enjoy this slightly different type of video. It's not going to be a very long one at all. I'm just going to show you quickly the techniques that I'm going to use and how I'm going to try and fix my project. And I think it's important to share that and kind of bring you on that journey because things go wrong and sometimes we have to fix them. And that's okay. And if I wasn't recording this for you lot, it would probably just sit in the naughty corner for a couple of weeks. And Mark will be like, where's my scarf? And I go, I've broken it. I don't know how to fix it. So I'm using you lot as my inspiration. This is going to be good blog content for me to try and fix my scarf and get back on track. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, I'm home and I'm going to attempt the fix. Mark is making wine. It is definitely Wine Wednesday. So if I show you what I've done, ta-da! So I have finished pattern A and I've just started pattern B. But of course, this is a 2-colored scarf. So what I should have done is finished pattern A. When I started pattern B, this salvage edge here should have then been in grey. So effectively half the scarf is pink with the pattern, and then the other half of the scarf is grey with the pattern. So I need to rip back these 12 rows that I've done in order to then change this to grey. Big mistake, hey? Can't fix it without. Now, what I have tried to do, let's scoot along to the other side. I have tried to fix it by undoing this. So the way you knit this within the pattern is you have these stitches here that you knit with a small bit of yarn, almost intarsia style, but you knit these bits and then you have the main color for the main pattern. So what I did think is, I only need to correct this edge. So what if I can undo these because it's a separate ball of wool, and then I can just re-knit this in grey. That's not going to work because if I knit this in grey, I'm going to have a hole here because these stitches are not going to be joined to the main body of the scarf, because each time I finish this section, in the same way as you would with intarsia, you would twist the yarn to effectively ensure that you get a joined up piece of fabric. So here on the end that's correct but wrong, you can see there's a clear join and there's no hole from the salvage edge to the pattern. So that's not going to work. So we are going to have to rip back. I say we, you're here and you're going to join me. You're not going to be able to help me. Mark's getting wine. That is going to help. Maybe not. So I have I've got another interchangeable cord. I've got some smaller needles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and insert a lifeline. The wool, it's 100% wool. It's Toft's wool. It's lovely and soft, but equally as wool, it's a bit sticky. So I possibly could, as you can see here, I've ripped these back. These stitches are just sitting here. So I could just take the needle out and rip the whole thing back. And I think the stitches would stay sufficient that I can just pick them back up. But I am worried because it's over 300 stitches that's a lot of trust I'm putting in these little guys here to stay sticky. So I'm going to try and insert a lifeline. We'll see. It's going to be fiddly. I'm not looking forward to it. I may get halfway through the lifeline, think, oh, do you know what? I can't be arsed. Can't be arsed? Sorry, no swearing. Can't be bothered. And I'll just rip it out and try and pick them back up. But because of the pattern and the mosaic effect, I do want to try and lifeline it. So we will see. Let's get going. Right, I've started the pickup. So you can see here is my new cable needle, and you can see here I have my stitches. So I'm trying, fortunately, I think I need to go back to this grey line here. I'm not 100% sure, and I'm kind of feeling like where I'm looking at the pattern, I think this is where I need to be. This is the last row of table A, I think. So I'm figuring that I can use this dark grey line as a sensible line to make sure that I'm picking up in a straight line. So I'm inserting my needle. And for those of you that have never picked up stitches before, I will try to show you that we are basically picking up the right leg of every stitch. So if a stitch is like a V, you're picking up the right leg of the stitch, which will enable you to put the stitch on the needle in the right place. So here you can see this grey, so you have the right leg and the left leg. So I just insert the needle under the left leg. It's very awkward trying to do this on camera and torture at the same time. So there's the left leg, and then this is the slip stitch, so that one's a bit easier. So there's the left leg, right leg even, sorry. So then we are coming across in a line. So then I've got another grey one. So pick up the right leg. And then every now and then I'm stopping just to check that A, I'm in the right place, and B, it doesn't look like I've obviously missed a stitch out. Now, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna persevere all the way along the row. But what I am gonna do, as I said, is use this as a guide so that if I haven't quite got it, if when I come to undo it, see it's a bit fiddly, so I've got that grey one there, but I just need that pink one there, which I think is that leg. If I've not quite got it, or I've missed a stitch or dropped a stitch, I said the wool is quite sticky, so I'm hopeful that if I have missed one, I can pick that up easily. And similarly, if I've picked up what looks like a leg of a stitch in error, I can easily correct that. I'm mostly seeing that it looks okay. If I look on the bits on the needle, I've got 3 pink, a grey, pink, grey, 3 pink, grey, pink, grey, grey, pink, grey, pink, 3 pink. So I think I'm broadly correct and picking up the pattern, but of course we will see when I come to undo it. So I'm going to stop this here for a moment because it's incredibly difficult to try and film and pick these up, but I've got a long way to go to get to the end. So I'm going to do this, and then when it comes to the undoing, I will pop back and show you the great rip out. I've got some wine, courtesy of Mark. Thanks, Mark. (8:15), we've had tea, pizza, if you were interested, and I've now put my lifeline in. So, the joys of the interchangeable needle, you can't actually see where I've put the lifeline in, but it is in here. It's here, I promise. So, you can see I've got double needles. So, I've followed my grey line. My needle is in. And there's only one thing for it to now see if this works. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to pull this out. And I think I'm just going to undo the needle. Eek! And then this will come out a bit easier. So we'll pull from this end. Oh my word. Right. Okay, we are free. Boyfriend off camera. Mark, what are we doing?
Ripping it back.
Are we ripping back the whole thing?
Yeah.
Why are we ripping back the whole thing?
Do you really want me to say why we're ripping it back?
You can really say, tell YouTube land, why are we ripping the whole thing back?
Because it looks like a dog's breakfast.
Because it looks like a dog's breakfast. I called him over to help me wind the individual skeins back, the individual little balls back. And there were some longer floats where I hadn't quite caught the slip stitch. So forget the lifeline, which I'd never done a lifeline on that many stitches before. So forget the lifeline that took me the best part of an hour. Just taking the whole thing out. The whole thing is being ripped back. And he's sitting here now, winding the little bobbins back, not able to moan, because he's on camera. But what is it that I always say? What Mark doesn't see, Martin gets away with. Unfortunately, he's seen all of this drama, so unfortunately, I'm not getting away with anything.
Okay.
He's not sorry at all. So, that's how much it is now. Devastated is not the word. All right, you can't...
I'm trying to wind.
He's trying to wind. You're on camera. I'm basically going to go back to the garter stitch. It's fine. It's like a week's worth. A couple of evenings a night I can do. But it'll teach me. Just keep ripping. Just keep ripping. And there we have it. I'm fixed. There's a little tiny bit of me that in a way is glad I've gone all the way back, because there was one end where I wasn't quite sure about starting these little tiny balls. I hadn't quite wound enough off. I ended up with quite a few ends. that I had, and it was just a bit messy, and I was a bit unsure about how I'd make that work. So in the grand scheme of it, I'm obviously annoyed. I've lost, I think it's only a week or so's work. Obviously, I showed you this in my last video, and I'd made great progress, and I now haven't made great progress. But it's fine. Mark made a comment off camera. Wouldn't you rather have it fixed than you finish it and it sit in the wardrobe? And he is true, because I don't want to knit stuff that he's not going to use. Although I could wear this as a scarf that I'm not going to use either. So I'm done. I've unwound it. I've picked them all back up. There are 1 or 2 stitches where, and I'm looking to see if I can find one. No, not off top, not offhand. There are a couple where the stitch dropped below. So I've caught the loop, so I don't have a live stitch on the run, but I need to fix it. There's one, for example, you can see the loop. So I've got the stitch. So when I knit myself along and I restart this tomorrow, I just need to redo that stitch. So there's a couple like that, but everything is sorted. Everything is back on. I've got my good old plain garter stitch again. And yeah, so I'm not going to show you any more progress. I kind of did this. I think I'm going to go with the name Podette. I like this. So the problems with Pathway, the Podette. Yeah, I'll edit this together. I'll get this uploaded. Let me know what you think. Because yeah, this is kind of like my real life knitting, you know, big drama. You have my monthly catch-ups, and I tell you what I've been working on and how things are going. And oh, it's not all great because look at all the things I've done. But then obviously this happens. And I'm happy to share these things with you. So I might do a few more of these if there's something interesting on a project that's not going quite right, or there's something that I want to talk about that I don't really want to wait a month. I'll hop on and I'll let you know. So please give me a comment below. Let me know what you think of this little mini format. Do you like seeing this kind of behind the scenes thing? Do you like the drama? I quite like the drama, but hey ho. As I said earlier in this video, this is a nightmare for me, but it's great for you because it's good blogging comment. So thank you for watching this little podette. Give me a little thumbs up. Let me know if you like the content. And as always, if you have enjoyed what you've seen today, please click that subscribe button. Help me grow my channel. If you are new here and you've just stumbled upon my little podette, please go back and check out some of my other videos talking about my monthly roundups or some of the projects I've been working on. It's lovely to have you here. And as always, if you are a returning viewer, thank you very much for being here again. So I will leave it there. And until we speak again, happy crafting.